shit. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're shooting at some fucking thing.
It'll be Christmas in 5 days. Good grief.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. Get a few days off. Yeah, right here at yep.
Well, I'm just gonna try to get through it. Oh
Right
boy.
here at the Emerald Ranch or whatever, the little post office. And yeah, Emerald Station. Yeah, was just right up the road. Run up here and check this shit.
I ain't even put them lights up in that tree in my sister's room, but you know what? I'm just gonna let it stay where it is. Oh boy. Trying to survive the holidays. And try not to. I don't even want to talk about it. Ah, crap. Yeah, just trying to. I don't know. It's just that it still feels weird. My sister being gone and everything, so it just feels weird for a few minutes. So I'm just trying not to think about it as much. Heard my folks talking about they need to go ahead and try to put a like a tombstone on her gravesite and everything. They said they got to go back and visit. I'm like, I'm not ready to do all of that yet. It's gonna take some time. It's going to take some time.
Alright, cool. I got to go fucking do some. I needed to go. Yeah, I'm gonna go do some hunting. My camp is fucking dry.
Shoot, we can do that then. Shoot. If the stuff ain't red, we can do that for a little bit, cause I just want to see if they change it up, if there's any snow involved or whatever. That's all I want to see. Oh boy. Ooh. Ah.
It's supposed to be, from what I read today, it's supposed to be like within the next couple of days. At least that's what I was reading. Yeah. Do some fucking hunting. See if I got anything new. Yeah, for real. Everything seemed like it was going pretty good when I got off. Well, that kind of sucks. I see she's on. I seen Emmy's on. Yeah. I was looking when I got on and I noticed she was on. And I was looking at the parties and she didn't have she wasn't in the party with you guys. And I was like, huh, I wonder why she's like playing by herself. She, yeah, she's on right now. I'm thinking, send her a damn invite to the damn party and see if she's. I don't know, Emmy's on. Yeah, I wish they would get over that shit. I mean, I do get where Emmy was coming from on all that shit, but they got to work that shit out because it's just a goddamn game. We all can be friends. I don't understand. I just don't. I guess it's because we're dudes and we don't fucking let that kind of shit. Yeah. Maybe yeah. 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 Yeah, no. Well, no, I get it. I know it's funny because it seemed like Emmy was trying to work it out, and then Panda moved on, and then she finally came back, and we was all playing together, and it seemed like it was going pretty good. Did anything happen? Did I miss something? I mean, when I got off? Yeah, maybe that's what she was trying to do is just put it behind her. Chicks. You know how that shit is, man. Come on. didn't last too long is Surrey ain't got no issues. Does Surrey got any issues with either one of them? I don't even know.
They brung it up, man, and couple of saying about enemies, trouble like
Yeah, that's what it seems like I've been hearing, but I mean, every time I played with her, I had no issues. That's what I'm saying. It's just weird.
in a situation like that, like I told him, I said, yeah, you have a lot of rough times in your life. It's so bad that you can't be your friend computer. You know, I mean, it's that simple. I mean, I don't think you should single nobody out and stop talking to them because some petty stuff will just shoot each other.
Digital shooting on top of that.
I mean, I know more to it than I know, you know. But if when it comes to somebody dating somebody in their life, well, I think, man, I can put that stuff aside because she keeps coming to me when we get everything fixed. I mean, she's definitely crying out for fucking something, dating somebody in her life. You know what I mean?
I just got attacked by a fucking rando.
I don't know. I'm talking about worry about shit like your turn. Somebody going to me. I don't care either way. I wish it all make them together. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I feel you, bro.
You got a lot of stuff to do with it. Yeah, but Nana is probably kind of a show off in front of guys that like she just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like she just don't care.
Well, that's cool. My fucking Christmas tree is cool.
Shit, you seen them inside the bar?
I haven't been in there yet. I'm in the,
Oh,
I'm at
it's
camp.
sick, dude. Yeah, it's real sick.
I'm at camp. I'm gonna have to check that shit out.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I like the lockbox.
Yeah. Wait till you see the bar. That's Christmas real good though. Yeah, because when I first seen the Christmas tree, I was like, yeah, that's killer, man. Because I just wouldn't have thought they would have done it. Well, I thought they'd done something. This random player I was sitting on the horse, and I was looking to say,
Some animal. This motherfucker just run up to me and pulls me off my horse, and then fucking pulls out his knife and tries to stab me. And so I was like, bitch, I pulled out my pistol and I pistol whipped him and then shot him. And then he come back at me and tried to fucking shoot me. And I dodged and jumped behind the tree and then headshotted him. And then he going to fucking keep coming. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna keep killing you. So I just run up to my can.
you see where they fix a few of them cars to make them stronger?
Oh no, did they really?
Yeah. Like the Horslings, Munslinger's Choice, Bastards, I don't know, I hear a bunch of them do something.
Hell yeah, I got the Gunslinger's Choice. I need to get that Slippery Bastard card.
Yeah. I don't know, be honest with you, I don't really know. A long time ago when I run out of things to buy, I just got them all upgraded now, so I just listen to other people and things, so I just been trying them out. I got the
Oh,
short game.
oh, that's
He
William.
upgraded it to Winner's Choice. I reckon they fixed it a little bit, and then Gunslinger's Choice. I got them three activated. If you want to ship like this is standard.
The Gunslinger's Choice.
You'd look on the ad William.
I, I got the as I got the Gunslinger's Choice. Let me look at what I got in my loadout.
And let me go to my may try to do this moon sign solo cell if it's ready.
I got a Force.
Let's see.
I got Necessity Breed. Yeah, I got Necessity Breeds. And I kind of like that one too, because it's as closer you get to death, you start to deal more damage. Really good. Yep. And then I got Gunslinger's Choice. Yeah, I need to upgrade them. Uh-oh. Superfly left.
Probably the internet cut out on him.
TV. Yeah, that was pretty sudden.
Well, on top of that, it's cold too. Sometimes the power lines and stuff, they'll freeze up and everything.
What state you in, man?
I live in Georgia.
Oh shit, me too, bro.
Yeah, I live like I'm an hour from Atlanta. I'm an hour from Atlanta and 15 minutes
South of Atlanta.
north of Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So I'm an hour from Atlanta and a 15 minutes from Gainesville. So
That's cool.
so I'm like in the
closer down. I'm closer down around the Savannah, Brunswick area.
yeah.
I'm down south, baby.
Yeah, I was before then. I was living in Florida for a while. Then my sister got sick, and then my folks now we had to went from hotel to hotel for about 2.5 months till we had to decide to find a place to stay at or whatever, find a rental property. And this guy, he's kind of pretty much old or whatever, and he what he did was he let us stay here as a rental for about, we got to pay him like $1,000 a month or whatever. It's cheaper than $1,400 living in Florida. But long story short, we came down to live in Lula to be near my sister, because she was diagnosed with acute leukemia, and we had to figure out what to do and figure out treatment to give her, hopefully to give her a better chance of living and stuff. Then when July 29th came, she passed on that day. So it's just been like trying to survive the holidays and going to grief share classes and stuff like that. That's pretty much, I'm just trying to handle everything else right now.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your sister, brother. That's rough. My condolences and shit, bro.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff to really deal with, because her and I, we were like 8 years apart, and she was my special needs sister on top of that and everything. So it's more of like, how do I live my life knowing that she's not gonna be around in the physical, and how do I honor her memories and everything? It's just the fact that it's a hard thing to really explain and everything. It's not really, I mean, I've gone to the grief share classes and everything, but before then, I would be up like right now, and when I try to go to sleep early, I would cry in my sleep and everything, because I couldn't handle sleeping and everything. So it's just a lot to really just try to deal with and understand and everything. I mean, I'm Christian and everything. I believe in God, and I know God don't make no mistakes. But I ask myself, but why it had to be her? I mean, like, I can't say I grew old with my sister because we barely started it really aging. Because she was 36 when she passed and everything. I mean, it's like so crazy, and life is precious, life is too short, but when it's your own sibling you grew up with for so many years and y'all so many years apart and everything, and it's just different. Like, it's like a lonely, it's like that void you're trying to fill and you can't even feel it. It's just one of those things, man. I mean, I can't really explain.
I can't even imagine, bro.
It's it's just one of those things because I sit there and then now I get kind of envy because everybody else got their sibling. Everybody know who has a sibling, they got theirs, but mine is gone. So I mean,
You
this
know,
is
when you talk about this kind, when you're talking about this, it makes me feel like maybe I should work things out with my sister. Me
I
and my
mean,
sister hadn't gotten along for a long time. I mean, we talked some, but we kind of have a really tangled up situation. She just lives one of them kind of lives that's hard for me to condone, and it's hard for me to be around her or see her because,
yeah,
you know, she's real bad into drugs, and she always gets with these sorry some bitches and
yeah,
just real bad people there, you know. Dude she's with, he's a damn drug dealer and shit.
yeah,
I got custody of one of her kids because she's too sorry to take care of them.
yeah,
And you know, I love her in my heart. I love her. I don't want to see anything bad happen to her. It's just one of those really weird situations where when she's around or when we talk or whatever, and she goes to telling me about her crazy ass life, and it's just like, you know, you chose this shit. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? I
yeah,
mean, but sometimes I feel like, especially when I hear you talk about that stuff, you know, it's just like maybe I should just forget about that shit and just try to work things out because you never know when they're gonna be gone, you know.
yeah. I mean, mine, it just happened so sudden. So she went from having a seizure to having full blown acute lymphoma leukemia. And my daddy, he cried in the hotel room. I would hear him every morning. He cried. And when it got worse, and we had to do miss all those meetings and everything, let us know it just made us worse. And my mama cried, and then I cried, and it just.
How old are you, man, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 29.
How long she been gone?
She passed in July of this year.
Yeah, so it's still real fresh, man.
Yeah,
Real fresh, I understand that. And I couldn't imagine. I lost my grandparents,
yeah,
my grandmother, my grandfather. My
yeah,
grandfather was like my best friend, but they were old, you know.
yeah,
They had their time, you know what I mean? So I was able to deal with that. I mean, my grandfather, hell, he was 80, shit, he was 88. And my grandmother died kind of young, but she was in her late 60s or mid to late 60s. I think she was 68, something like that.
yeah. My
But they were old, you know.
yeah,
It's
my
only your sister, and she still got all this life
yeah.
ahead. And
It's crazy because the thing is, my grandfather passed when he was 70 or whatever. Because I was still in middle school. He's around 70 something, and I was in middle school at the time. He had Alzheimer's and he had a colon. I think it was colon cancer, something like that. My grandmother passed after she had diabetes. I think, yeah, she had kidney dialysis and some other diabetes and other medical conditions, and And all it took was when she ended up going downhill because she fell one time and that was it. And then she passed in January 2014. My grandfather passed in around 2002, 2003, somewhere and along those lines. My grandmother on my daddy's side, who wasn't sick at all, she fell one time and when it went downhill, she died in February 2017, something like that. And we had the funeral like in March 2017, something like that. So all the main pieces of my life, the only thing I have that's kind of remaining is both my uncles, my mother and my father. And that's the only thing that's kind of remaining in my life. I have no kids. I'm still making sure I have myself together. I'm finishing up my 2 requirements, because I finished all my schoolwork for my master's degree in game production and management. But I'm still doing my graduate student innovation project, which is like a visual novel game called Sins and Misdeeds, and a graduate portfolio that pretty much is a web page that explains everything, and I answer the questions that they want me to ask and stuff. So everything else is just taking them the step at a time, and it's kind of hard or whatever. But going to the grief shit actually helped me because I'm in there with folks, with my folks and other people who done lost their loved ones. One man lost his wife. One man lost one of his daughters, and it's the people. Everybody lost somebody in the room, so we can relate. One lady lost 2 people in there lost their spouse all of a sudden. It just remind. And then the hardest part of my life right now is was going to my sister's funeral and walking behind that casket and holding my mother up, and my father was holding her on one side and I was holding her on the other side. That was the hardest part. Besides the weight and everything, that was the hardest part. And it's just kind of it's just hard to really grasp and discuss and everything. I mean, I'm strong enough to talk about it in a sense, but I'm not strong enough to really look at a picture that much. I try to, but every time I look at a picture, I start shedding tears here and there. So I try not to think about it as much. I mean, I keep her memories alive in my heart and everything, and just keep it real and everything, stuff like that, and wear a cross because she like crosses and stuff. But from an emotional aspect, I haven't got there. I haven't gotten there yet.
My wife lost both of her parents, and they've been passed now for years, and she still thinks about them and still has dreams about them and wakes up crying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always going to be something that's going to be there with you. I think the trick just is to try to think about the good times, and every time you think about her, you think about her in the good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's just
Remember the happy times.
right. I just be like certain things with like my mom. My mom and my sister liked a lot of stuff together. Like she liked my sister liked the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Heard that.
And I liked them too and stuff. But my mom, she can't eat them right now. Because every time she picks up and get ready to eat, when she thinks about my sister. So my mom there's certain foods my mom is trying to avoid to eat and everything. And with like my dad, he sees her. My mom said my sister come to visit her in her sleep and let her know that she's all right and everything, and it's just, I mean, it's just kind of like, it's a lot to really take in. And when she got sick, I was in my 5th semester of my degree, And they told me, I told them what's going on. They said I could take 180 days out there. I can be out for 180 days, which is like 6 months. And I told myself no, because I got to keep pushing forward and make sure I finish up everything on time, because I didn't want to take the break. Just to keep going, so I won't have to think about it as much and everything. And
Yeah, kind of take your mind off of it, keep
yeah,
you busy.
yeah, and it's just a lot to really. Sometimes it's more of having to make sure I keep. Oh, I need to make some money. I'm doing these revenue things. But it's just more of like trying to make sure that I can go on and go forward and trying to find a decent girl that can help me fill that void and everything and stuff like that, so I can just be me and be happy and everything and live my life and make sure I can make sure I can move to a place for myself and have some space and everything and still build my entrepreneurship with someone that's and technically that's what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is pretty much I'm working with someone and I'm helping and I'm co-founding the game studio. And it's like we decided to turn it into an LLC, make it easier or whatever. And we just pretty much my role be, since he's the founder and CEO, I'm pretty much going to be a co-founder and CEO. So we're just going to be recruiting folks, keep them if they're interested, they'll join and let them work remotely until we can get the funds for the building and everything, stuff like that. So that's kind of where my head is at most of the time when I'm not really thinking about my sister or just thinking about what she liked and everything. Because my sister may have been special need, but she liked it. She liked her Tina Turner. She liked the James Brown. She liked it Percy Sledge and
I love all them cats too, man.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
she liked it.
Like
I mean, it's one of her favorite songs was "When a Man Loves a Woman." she was.
damn, bro.
I mean, it was something. I mean, it was like, man.
Percy Sledge was one of my favorite.
Yeah, Percy Sledge.
Favorite artists ever, bro.
I mean, I think one time I was dealing with something real bad, and the girl did me wrong or whatever, and I feel like I was breaking up with her, and I turned on some Percy Sledge and went and tried to take a nap. I was in 9th grade, man. I'm just like trying to figure out what girl who really liked me, and try to make sure they really wanted to really grow up or whatever, or finish the school year with me or whatever, stuff like that. But it was just something. It was just something about that and everything, because she liked the dad and Lord, she loved the Tina Turner, and she liked it gospel. She loved gospel, like she liked the Dottie Peoples, and there's like some gospel songs that her mom had to sing every day while she was in the hospital and stuff, and it was more like everything else, as long as someone she got folks to pray for her all the time and everything and stuff. So it's a lot of, my sister had hope and she had more faith in everything. But the funny thing was she kind of brought folks together. For example, there was a church we used to go to, and my mom was working on was next in line to do a trial sermon so she could preach the gospel and everything. And the preacher delayed it in a way, and it upset my mom, and she felt like she was done wrong by the church. So she ended up calling that pastor because my sister asked her to. My mom was looking like what? Call him. That was like that's her request or whatever, something along those lines. So she had to call him and tell him what was going on with Princess, with my sister, that's her name, and tell her what's going on with her and everything, and that allowed him to speak at her funeral and stuff like that, despite everything else that went wrong between them and everything. So that was, and then other folks or whatever, you know, like relationships got mended, whatever. Then one of my mom's friends, I call my aunt because she technically is one of my aunts, and that's one of the other only lady I can respect and call her my aunt because she was actually loved me like a nephew and stuff. So that relationship got renewed and everything, you know, and she pretty much was doing my sister was pretty much doing God's work on her deathbed and everything. That was the thing about it. It was kind of like, okay, Princess is bringing all these people together while she's sick and everything. And then I met a girl in a hospital. Her name was Amanda, and she was losing her daddy and everything. And she was from Cleveland, something like she was calling. She came a long way because everybody that we kind of met was in the hospital, and they were doing some kind of something different or whatever, or close to it and stuff. So it was more like we all trying to figure out what we're gonna do and everything with if like our loved ones or whatever didn't like get well or whatever. So like how we were gonna make it and stuff like that. So it was more like just trying to figure that out, because I said I'm not ready to go to another funeral, and I refuse to go to. I'm not ready to go to my sister's funeral. Whatever. I refuse to go to it, because that's what my mind said. I'm like she is going to get well and everything, and she got well, but she got well on the immortal side of things. So that's when I knew. I found out about how she died when my folks got home, and they told me and everything, and it hit me. I couldn't cry. I wanted to, and I couldn't. I just held it in for a while. Then maybe a few days later, even before the funeral, that's when I had my moments and everything. And it's just like, because I was so numb of the whole situation that it really got to the point where I was like, man, I'm alone. I don't have my sister's gone, and how am I supposed to live my life without her being alive and all that stuff, you know? And it dawns upon me in a way that, because the room that we made for her, it is right next to my room as a whole, you know. And it makes it even worse, because the worst part is my parents' room is right across from her room and everything. So it's just pretty much hard on all of us. My mom don't like being at home by herself. I stayed home to work on stuff. But truthfully, sometimes I have my moments where I shed tears and everything. You know, just trying to get through it and stuff and everything. Sometimes I go in the room and I talk. I said, I know you had to go, and I can't do nothing about it. But while you up there, at least tell Grandma and our grandparents I said hello. You know, and everything, just to assure me that I'm just gonna be all right and everything. So like now it was like, it's pretty much like we all have our moments, but my mother, she has her moment because my sister's photos of her being in the hospital and everything is still in her phone. So I told her, you might have to get a track phone and use that more instead of using the phone, your cell phone that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, goodness.
Well,
yeah.
It sounds like she had a big heart. It sounds like she was a good person.
Yes.
It sounds like she loved the family. And,
my sister, she
wanted you guys to.
Yeah, she loved everybody and everything. Like the only thing I just wonder why was like, how come she had to have she had to be special need and everything. I mean, I couldn't understand what that meant at first, because when it came down to discipline, she would get disciplined different from me, and I couldn't understand it for anything in the world. I'm like, okay, you discipline me, you take away the games and all the other stuff, but when you discipline her, you have to calm her down and all that other stuff, and she still keeps her TV or whatever. But with me, my TV gets gone. You know, I mean, it was
Hard
just,
to understand when you're young, you know.
yeah, and it was more like overall, I loved my sister and everything, but I gotta admit, my sister was kind of jealous of me, cause how I know, cause when we go to church services and stuff when I was younger, she wouldn't even hold my hand in church. I had to make her hold my hand. I'm like, why you be so stubborn? Just hold my hand. I'm your brother. Jeez.
Yeah, she was struggling with a lot too, you know. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I know she was. I mean,
we
her.
don't never know. We don't never know when we look on the outside from people that have a lot of
Yeah,
issues. It's hard to understand.
yeah, cause she was full on special need, and it got to the point where my mom couldn't take care of her, so she had to put her in a personal care home and everything. And the ladies were Jamaican and they were from Haiti and stuff like that. They were Haitian, I guess they were also Jamaican because they were from Haiti, maybe. And they took good care of my sister, and as long as my sister I was taken care of, I was able to do what I had to do and rest peacefully and enjoy my life and deal with whatever came my way and stuff. And now they say it's take on a new normal. I'm like, it's not a new normal. It's an adjustment. I mean, it's like an adjustment to the fact and everything. So because the thing about it was she died and I had class that day. I went to see her before I had to go to class. Stayed in there with me about a few minutes to an hour maybe. Just telling her this, and I'm just trying to finish school and find a decent girl to be with, so you can have at least a niece or a nephew or whatever and stuff like that. So I'm like, you're supposed to grow old with me. Like I love you, I always have, and always will, and everything. And sometimes I mean, I don't know. It's just a lot to really for me to think about at times, and I sit there. I'm like, have mercy on me.
Yeah, you're doing the best thing you can do, man.
I
Just stay
mean,
busy,
it's just like some
keep
days.
moving forward.
I mean,
You're gonna be all right, brother.
I just be feeling like, man, I know it happens to everybody, but when it happens to you, you just feel like alone in everything. And it's just more of like, how do you survive the aftermath of it all? And how you gonna really, just, how you really gonna, um, do what you gotta do to get through the day and take care of yourself and everything and stuff. Like every place we lived at, I just remember off my back of my head, and like me moving back to whatever we're supposed to move back to, I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Because the memories are there and everything, and I just couldn't really just do it and stuff like that. So I'm just where I'm just trying to take it easy and not to think about it as much, and just try to figure out how do I handle certain things when it comes down to what involves her and everything. And like when her birthday was in September. So what we did, we went out to another area and stayed in the area. I think we went to Stonewood. I think it was Stonewood or Strongbridge, Georgia, something like that. And we stayed in that area for a little while. I did have homework I had to do, but I didn't really enjoy it as much, but it was like pretty much hoping to forget about stuff, and I did forget about some things, and forget about that she's gone and she's watching over me and all the other stuff, and it's just so I can make it easier for myself and everything. So I I mean, it's just like whatever I had to do to make it easier for myself, I did it. And it's like I just like right now I only talk about her when I feel comfortable enough and strong enough to really talk about her, because it takes a lot for me to discuss her everything and stuff like that. It just takes a lot out of me to do and
Yeah.
stuff.
Sometimes you got to though, man. Sometimes it bottles up inside and you just gotta talk about it sometimes, you know?
Yeah,
Keep you from going crazy, bro.
yeah. I mean, and you know what I mean. I'm trying to make sure I'm give myself enough space, like emotionally, to make sure I'm level-headed emotionally to press on and stuff like that. And I'm just
Sounds
some
to me like
days,
you're doing pretty good, man. You got your school and all going on and
yeah, and I'm trying to finish
getting
that
your
up.
masters and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
that's cool, dude.
I just pretty
That's
much
a
trying
big
to
deal.
finish it up.
Congratulations on that, for real.
Yeah, I just gotta finish it up, finish up those two requirements, and then I can make it official. And then I gotta travel and then I gotta get a passport, and then travel down to Arizona for the graduation.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I did my schooling online. I was going to an actual campus in Florida, but things just didn't work out. So I had to start all over, which was good for me, and get back to where I was, and it paid off and everything. So like now I'm just trying to finalize everything. Yeah, I don't know, I just feel tired. Oof.
Yes, it is getting late.
Man, it's
Sure.
past late. It's almost like it's the next day.
Or
I guess.
early. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't get off work till 2, so I didn't get back out. I live in Jessup and I work in Savannah, so I'm about an hour away from work. By the time I got home, it was about 3:20, and so I'm off tomorrow, so I figured I'd get on and play for a little while.
Yeah.
Try to get my camp stocked up, but dude, it's fucking like, these animals is not spawning for shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
was
gotta,
just able to get a 3-star deer.
I
Like,
know, it's crazy. They gotta do something about this shit on this game.
yeah.
I love this fucking game. This is like my favorite game, and but it just makes it such a task to fucking supply your camp sometimes.
And it has to play it on top of
Yeah,
that.
it is. It's definitely like punching into a time clock sometimes. Like, let me get on here and work. They gotta get this mess straightened out.
Yeah, before the New Year's.
Heck yeah, man. I mean, you figure they just did this big update. You figure they would have dealt with all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much dealt with the camp issue. I mean, I've had issues once or twice where it didn't spawn right away, but nothing like it used to be. There was times when I couldn't spawn that bitch all day long.
Yeah, I had that issue too.
But now it seems to be a lot better. It's like I'm up here in Big Valley right now, over here on Little Creek in that little valley,
Hmm.
and usually there's always some animals in here. I ain't seen shit. The only thing that was saving me was being able to duplicate them animals when we was rocking that glitch.
Yeah.
Duplicating cougars and deer, and that was making it pretty easy. And now, since they patched it, it's like, I mean, I think a lot of it's got to do with the sessions. They just get so full,
Yeah.
get all these people, and it just, but they could easily fix that by making private sessions. Like if you could just open, like go and start your own private session,
Yeah.
like a solo session,
Uh-huh.
and only people can join or people that you invite,
Yep,
that would make it great.
it would. Sure would.
I kind of would rather do that. That way you ain't got to worry about all the griefers or anything like that.
Yep.
And I know they could do it if they wanted to. I don't know why they don't.
Boy. Yeah, I may just go ahead and just call it quits because I can't keep my eyes up past 5 for some reason. I said I was gonna, every time I do a live stream, I said I was gonna drink me a few cups of, maybe about 6 cups of coffee, keep myself up or whatever. But I never do it. But I may do it tomorrow night maybe or whatever. So, but
Yeah,
because I usually
rest, man.
I will because I gotta I work on my visual novels thing, GSIP and my grab portfolio and stuff. And I work on one, and then I look at the questions to try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I just go back and work on something, the other thing, and hopefully when I finish the other thing, I have a question I'll be able to answer for all of it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and get off. I just only redid it because it wouldn't load or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and change my character's clothing and get off or whatever, and then gets beyond Friday. Well, it is Friday. Gets beyond tomorrow. Well, Friday night.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah, later on and everything. So, but yeah, man.
Alright, brother. Well, shoot, man. You do what you got to do, man. I'm gonna be here for a little while, and then I'm gonna go to bed. But I got to try to get my camp going. That shit's bones out right now.
Yeah, mine is not bone dry. It's I live streamed 2 different games tonight. That's half the reason why I'm tired. I live streamed GTA first, and then this game. So
That's something that I need to do is break down and get that game. I had never. I mean, I say never. I played it very briefly one time on Xbox.
yeah, GTA 5. They got the casino where nah, you ain't gonna be able to transfer your character, but GTA 5 got this casino heist that I'm actually got almost finished with doing all the missions for. Then I can do the actual heist, but it got like at least a total of. You got that casino heist. You got the 2 bank job heist 1 casino. No, heist 1 is the short bank, the small little bank credit union heist. Heist 2 is the prison break heist or raid or whatever. Heist 3 is the Humane Labs raid heist. Heist 4 is the Pacific Standard Bank heist. Heist 5 is breaking down into 3 parts. It's the Doomsday heist. And heist 6 is the casino heist. So they got at least 6 heists in there. It's just that with the Doomsday heist, it's broken down in like the 3 parts, but it's still part of the big. It's still a heist. It's just, you can say it's like heist 5, 6, 7, but it's and then you can say the other one is 8. But the Doomsday heist is broken down as 3 different heists, but it's broken down in the 3 parts to make it one whole heist or whatever. Because it's like Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Act 1, then Act 2, the setups, and Act 3 setups, and that's like the ultimate heist. It really is. You just need to buy all the like the main house or a facility for it. that's required for it that'll go with it and everything. But yeah, yeah, I'm not in. I can't even keep my eyes open. I got my glasses on. I don't want to break my glasses. But
Go get you some rest, brother.
that's what I'm going to do. After I
Alright, man.
put this these goggles on this character, on my character, these balloon goggles.
Yeah, I like those too. I got an outfit with them. I did the balloon go. I used that the collector outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called the Londonderry.
Mm-hmm.
And then put the goggles with the with that safari hat that you get from Madame Nazara.
Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of cool. Well, that shit looks kind of a little bit geeky, but it's still cool.
Yeah. This is gonna be under it should be eyewear, I think. Yeah. I guess I say something to those who still watching, so they know I'm getting off. Oh boy. To those still watching, I'm kind of sleepy, and I'm getting off. I'll see y'all guys in the next stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. It's mean a lot. What else I'm missing? Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna be on tomorrow if I can't get over this sleeping hangover. I haven't drunk anything, but still, I'm sleepy. But anyway, y'all take care. Thank you for watching. And look forward to seeing y'all in the new decade. Peace. Okay, that's over with. Well, my honor did go down a little bit. That's how maybe I can feed my horse first. That'll bring her right on up.
It's too hard to keep your honor down in this game. I don't even try anymore.
Yeah.
I used to like to have a low honor.
Well, my honor's kind of high. It's in the silver area.
Maxed out. Yeah, mine's completely maxed out.
Mine maxes out, and then I do something crazy, it goes down. All right, man, take it easy. I appreciate it. Yeah. All right.